Back again with another tutorial. This time it's the Eagles Peaceful Easy Feeling. The Peaceful Easy Feeling is in the key of E, and for the most part you can use traditional chord shapes, so just your standard E major, A major, a B7 chord and an F sharp minor bar chord. But for this tutorial I thought I'd show you a few alternative chord voicings that will not only make you sound more professional but are easy to play. Now the intro is just a 1-bar repeated pattern, and that's 2 beats of E major and 2 beats of E suspended 4, and it looks like this. Chord voicings are there, so grab a screenshot and you're good to go. The trick to playing that E suspended chord is just to take your normal E major chord and then just put your pinky directly underneath your 3rd finger, so on the 2nd fret of the G string. Now your verse consists of the E major chord again, along with an A chord and also a B chord. Now traditionally you'd use a bog standard open A chord and also a B7 open chord, but in this case we're going to have a couple alternative chord voicings for the A chord and the B chord. This is what our verse will look like. And you'll notice for the A chord, we're not having any fingers down on the G string, so we're letting it ring open. So technically it's going to be an A add 2 chord. Some people might call it an A suspended 2. And our B chord is literally a B power chord played with our 1st finger on the 2nd fret. I should show you this properly actually. Look, we're going to put our index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, followed by our 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the D string, and our pinky is going to be on the 4th fret of the G string. We're going to let the E and B strings ring out open. We're going to mute the low E string, sound like this. It's a cool little movable shape that you can use in the key of E. You can also, if you ever need a C sharp minor, you can literally take that shape and move it up 2 frets. It gives you a really cool sounding C sharp minor chord. To play the verse, we're going to play 2 beats of E, followed by 2 beats of A. We do that 3 times, followed by our B chord for a bar. We then simply repeat that, so we're going to go E to A, that's 1 bar, E to A, that's our 2nd bar, E to A, 3rd bar, and then another bar of B, and that's going to be our verse. It's the same for every verse, and it'll sound like this. Chorus is only 6 bars long with a little 2-bar tag, and it looks a little bit like this one. You'll notice there's an F sharp minor chord on there, and to play it, instead of playing our typical bog standard F sharp bar chord, which looks like this, we're going to play this cool variation where we don't actually play the root note or the tonic, which is our F sharp note, on the low E string, but rather we're going to place our index finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. Our 3rd finger is going to go on the 4th fret of the A string, pinky on the 4th fret of the D string. Once again, I said mute the low E string, let the B and E strings ring out, and it will sound like this, which is a really cool sounding inversion. I use it all the time for F sharp minor in the key of E, and also in the key of A. Works really, really good. Gives you a bit more of a modern sound, has lots of open strings ringing out. So the chorus is going to consist of a bar of A, followed by a bar of E, another bar of A, and then we have 2 beats of F sharp minor, followed by 2 beats of B. It's a bit rattly, wasn't it? I should play that a little bit nicer. There we go. And that's followed by 2 beats of E, 2 beats of F sharp minor, 2 beats of A, and 2 beats of B. Now there's a little tag at the end of that, and that tag is the same as our introduction, so that is going to be 2 beats of E major, followed by 2 beats of E suspended 4, and we do that twice. So all up, our chorus section will sound like thus. that's the whole song. We literally go back to the beginning of the first verse, play all the way through to the end of our chorus. For the solo section, we literally play the verse and the chorus again. That's going to be followed up by yet another verse and another chorus. Now that's followed up by the outro tag, which is like this. So it's literally E to F sharp minor, that's 1 bar, 2 beats each, followed by A to B, once again, 2 beats each, 1 bar, and we play that twice. So it'll sound like this. You notice I finished on the E chord. That's because you always finish on the tonic. Thanks again for joining me in another tutorial video. Hope you had fun learning Peaceful Easy Feeling. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, give me a like or a dislike, ring the bell to get notified when the next video comes out, and remember, practice makes permanent. So practice perfectly. Cheers.